أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Today's topic is going to be on the next set of letters, the letter Dod and the letter Lam. Before we go on to show you the articulation points, just a quick review of the way the teeth are placed in our mouth, because we need to know this when we study the makhraj of Lam and also the makhraj of Dod. Okay, so we know that we have the set of teeth on the top and the bottom are equal in number. And then when you divide them, we divide the upper jaw into two equal halves. Again, you have the mirror image, the mirror teeth, right? So the first two teeth, which are numbered 1 and 1, are the central incisors. The second are the lateral incisors. Two, the number 2 here in the screen, you see lateral incisors. The third are the canines. The fourth are the premolars. They are the first premolars. They come when you come from the top. Then you have the second premolar, and then the molar, and then as you go deeper into the mouth, you have the second molar and the third molar. So you have how many sets of molars? 3 sets of molars. How many sets of premolars? 2 sets of premolars. And then you have canine incisors and central incisors. So when you know this, it will be easier to understand the makhraj of the letter Dod and Lam. Okay? Okay. The letter Dod and Lam are called the letters of Hafat al-Lisan. Okay, in Arabic they call it Hafat al-Lisan, which means the side. Okay, the side or the edge of the tongue. Now, if you look at the way the upper, if you open your mouth and you feel the area behind the front teeth, you will feel. If you feel the area, you will see a part of the hard palate, and then the hard palate dips, like recesses. It goes down. Okay, so when we do the makhraj of Lam, remember the makhraj of Lam involves the edge of the tongue. Okay, the edge of the tongue, and the makhraj of Dod involves the edge of the tongue on the side. Okay, so let's look at the makhraj of Dod first. What is Dod? Dod is a tafkhim letter. Okay, Dod is a tafkhim letter. It is a tafkhim or an isti'ala letter. The back of the tongue is raised up, and its makhraj is from the side of the tongue. Okay, the sides of the tongue are involved in the makhraj of the letter Dod. So the side of the tongue will touch against the molars. Okay, it will press against the gums of the upper molars, not the lower molars, because this is a letter where the tongue is raised up towards the roof of the mouth. Okay, and then you press the side edges of the tongue against the molars, all the way against the molars at the back. Okay, and where do I place the front of my tongue? The front of my tongue is going to be behind the gums of my central incisors. Okay, and don't let the tongue drop. So now you will see in this picture, the tongue is raised all the way up. Okay, and you can see the tongue is not here the tongue is not imprisoning the sound. It is close to the gums of the upper incisors, central incisors, but it is not, it is close to it, but it's not touching it. Okay, it's not blocking it. It's not completely sealing. So now, if you look at the letter Dod, Dod is showed in this picture is showed by the area which is highlighted in black. If you can see the area highlighted in black,
yes,
I'll highlight it in a different color maybe. Then you'll see better. Okay, this green I'm showing here. Can you see the green, sisters? Why is it not working? Okay, can you see the one I'm doing here? Can you see? It's moving a little bit. I'm shading it green. No, it's not coming. I don't know why. Okay, anyway, if it but you see the black area, the black area in blocks. So there you see that is the area of the letter, the place where the side edge of the tongue will touch against the gums of the molars. Right? You have a set of molars here. You'll see that it is touching against the molar, and the top edge, the tip of the tongue and the top surface of the tongue is close to the gums of the central incisors. So the sound is running in dod. So what's a common mistake we make in dod is we make a qalqala on dod. Okay, you let the sound run in dod. You don't stop the sound, because there's no place where the sound is blocked. There's no there's the tongue does in no way imprisons the sound. The tongue is raised up all the way towards the roof of the mouth, and it's pressing, the side edges of the tongue are pressing against the molars, and the front tip of the tongue and the surface of the tongue in the front is close to the gums of the central incisors, but not shutting it. Okay, so the sound is running. Keep in mind, there is sound running in dod. There is no air in the sound. Okay, so the vocal cords are shut tight. There is no air running in the sound. Okay, and the sound, since the distance between the surface of since the distance between the surface of the tongue and the roof of the mouth has become very small, the sound comes occluded. Okay, and that gives it the sifat of itbaq. Okay, we will discuss this terminology when we do sifat, inshallah. So keep that in mind. So now how is that different? So dod, if I put a hamza before dod and give a sukun on dod, and if I read dod, I will read with a heavy sound. Okay, I will let the sound run. I will not say abu, abu. No, that's wrong. Alubu. Okay, so when I say dod, I say ab, 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 ab. Okay, dod has a running sound. Dod has a heavy sound because it's an istiala letter or tafkhim letter, right? Dod doesn't have any air, okay? And Dod has an occluded, like a pasiv yawaz, like a stuffed sound, okay, in Dod, because the distance between the surface of the tongue and the roof of the tongue is very little, okay? Okay. Now this is a better picture. That is for lamb. So here in this picture, you will see the makhraj of dod is highlighted in green. Okay. Okay, the touching area is highlighted in yellow. Okay, it is touches, but it doesn't close it. Okay, it touches, but it doesn't close it. The sound doesn't, the tip of the tongue doesn't close it. Okay, it touches, but it is not completely shutting off the sound. Okay, so that's the makhraj of dod. Okay, now let's look at the makhraj of lam. The makhraj of lam has to do with the 8 teeth in the front. Okay, 8 teeth in the front is where the tip of the tongue and the surface of the tongue will touch. Where will it touch? The gums of the front 8 teeth. And what are these 8 teeth? They are the central incisors, the 2 central incisors in the middle, then the 2 lateral incisors, that makes 4, the 2 canines, which makes 6, and then the 2 premolars, upper premolars, that makes a total of 8, right? 8 letters. So these these 8 teeth, 8 letters I'm saying, 8 teeth. So now you have the makhraj of lam, where the tip of the tongue and the top surface, a part of the surface of the tongue is touching the gums of these 8 teeth. Okay, it's touching the gums of these 8 teeth to make the sound of the letter lam. Okay, what is happening to the middle of the tongue? There's a dip in the middle of the tongue, right? Okay, there's a dip in the middle of the tongue. Only the front end of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, and this is raised up. The rest of the tongue, you'll see a dip in the middle of the tongue. Okay, so it's more like the sound here escapes from the side. Okay, the sound here escapes from the side and it is blocked at the tip of the tongue. So two things are happening in the letter lam. The sound is blocked at the tip of the tongue, where the tip of the tongue, the edge of the tongue touches the eight teeth. Okay, so that's the point where the sound is blocked, while the sound runs from the middle of the tongue, because as a dip, the sound escapes from the middle. So that's the reason why you call this letter moderate in strength. It's moderate in strength because the sound is not imprisoned completely. The sound is imprisoned partially and also running partially. The sound is imprisoned partially and running also partially. Is there any air in the letter lam? No. There's no air in the letter lam. Okay. So you have to keep in mind lam sometimes can be thick and sometimes can be thin only in the name of Allah. Only in the name of Allah, lam can be sometimes thick or sometimes thin. But all the rest of the words, all the rest of the letters that start with lam that do not involve the name of Allah, lam is red light. So when you say lakum, you don't say lakum. Okay? When you say alladhi, you don't say alladhi, right? You keep the sound of lam light. Alqa, laqi, all these are light lams. The only time lam is going to be heavy is in the name of Allah. When I put a fatha before the ism of Allah, in the ism of Allah, lam is going to be heavy if the letters before the ism of Allah has a fatha or a dhamma. And if the letter before the ism of Allah has a kasra, the lam in the ism of Allah is going to be red light. Bismillah, right, is red light. And then the other one is MashaAllah. MashaAllah, the lam is red heavy. Okay. Okay, in both these over here, you will see in light lam and in heavy lam. In light lam, the back of the tongue is not raised. Okay, in heavy lam, the back of the tongue is raised. Okay, but keep in mind there is a dip in the middle of the tongue. Okay, I think we covered. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.